This is r/entitled parents. 3 mothers, one driven by greed, one by control, and one by fear. Each crossed a line, but only one found redemption. Let's get into it.
She called me a killer. Now she's out. This story is truly cruel. The closest person to me in the whole world is my grandmother. She was the one who saved me when my mother was abusing me. When my mother threw me out, between the ages of 13 and 16, I knew I could take a taxi in the middle of the night and go to my grandma's. She would come downstairs at any hour, pay the fare, and take me in for the night. When I wanted to hurt myself, I either went to my grandma's or called her. And this grandma, astonishingly, is my mother's mother. And she is fully, painfully aware that her daughter is a monster, not a human being. She knows exactly how much harm my mother has caused me. A few years ago, my grandma had a complete collapse. She was barely breathing and her heart was barely responding. She was rushed to the hospital completely unconscious. My mother was screaming in hysterics. I cried my eyes out every night. The doctors gave her no chance. After 3 months of unconsciousness, they asked us, the family, to consider taking her off life support, to let her go. By then, I hadn't spoken to my mother in years, but in that situation, of course, we started talking again. One day, my mother called me, crying and begging for advice. What should we do? Should we keep grandma on the machines? Or should we let her go? The hospital didn't want to keep her much longer. They wanted to transfer her to hospice. She occasionally breathed on her own, but the question was, if her condition crashed again, should we intubate her again? If she stopped breathing? I loved my grandma 100 times more than my mother. She meant the world to me, but I also knew she would never want to just exist. As she used to say, like a vegetable. She was a strong, amazing woman who always wanted to stay independent. So I told my mother, she's still alive now. She's still breathing. Let's hold on to that. But if she were to go to hospice, I don't think we should prolong her life by force. And at that moment, my mother's tone changed. Ha! Got you. I knew it. I knew you always wanted to end her. I recorded this. Ha ha ha, you idiot. You totally fell for it. Stupid witch. Now the entire inheritance will go to me. I hung up. 2 days later, my grandma regained consciousness. It took her almost 6 months to fully recover her strength and mobility, but she did it. She's been doing well ever since. It's been 6 years now and she's fine. My mother has visited her many times, playing that recording over and over again. She keeps repeating, that beloved granddaughter of yours wanted to end you. But grandma always replies, oh, forget it. I wouldn't want to spend the rest of my life on a ventilator either. She was right. Then, after some time, grandma wrote an updated will, one that can't be challenged, one that completely disinherits my mother. And it's signed by several lawyers and psychologists. My grandma is doing well. I love her more than anyone in the world. And my mother, who would have inherited something by legal succession if she acted like a human being, will now get nothing. Forget you.
This one really got to me. It's heartbreaking enough to be betrayed by your own parent, but to be set up while your grandmother was fighting for her life? That's cold beyond words. Thank goodness Grandma pulled through. Seriously, I'm so grateful she's still here, strong, and able to see the truth for herself. She's the definition of resilience. But I keep wondering, what was the mother even trying to prove by playing that recording over and over? If she truly believed it was proof, what did she want out of it? To make Grandma hate her granddaughter? Or worse, to break her own mother's heart so she'd get the inheritance? It's disgusting how far greed can go. But Grandma? She saw right through it and turned that pain into justice. I love that she's doing well and that the will is sealed tight. And up next, another mother who tried to control her adult child. But this time, the daughter's response might just surprise you.
My mom tried to ground me for taking a job she didn't approve of. I'm 26. I moved back home temporarily after a breakup. My plan was to save up, get my own place again, and move out within 6 months. I told my mom I'd be picking up shifts at a local tattoo studio doing desk work and appointment scheduling. She lost it. She said, "You're better than that. Only delinquents work there." I told her it's just an admin job, not like I'm tattooing gang members in her living room. She said if I insisted on working somewhere trashy, I'd have to follow her house rules. By her house rules, she meant no coming home after 9 p.m., no bringing tattoo people into the house. She gets to approve what I wear to work. When I told her she couldn't ground me because I'm not 16, she said, as long as you live under my roof, you'll live by my rules. So I did exactly that. I found a studio apartment the next week, signed a lease, and started moving my things out quietly while she was at work. When she came home and saw my room half empty, she called me ungrateful and said, "You think you're grown, huh?" Yes, Mom. That's literally the point.
This cracked me up. Imagine trying to ground a full-grown adult for working an admin job. Like, ma'am, she's not sneaking out to join a biker gang, she's scheduling tattoos. I love that OP didn't argue or beg. She just packed her things and left. Clean, quiet, and the ultimate power move. Sometimes the best revenge isn't yelling back. It's walking out the door with your dignity intact. And next, a story that starts with yelling but ends with something totally unexpected.
Entitled Mom wants me to stop treating my young adult children as adults. So a little backstory is in order. I have 2 young adult children living at home, ages 18 and 19. They both work and go to college. I trust my kids. I trust their decision-making skills. When they graduated high school and turned 18, new rules went into place. No curfew. Just call me and let me know if you're going to be out all night so I don't worry. You can call me at any time for a pickup. No questions asked. Just don't be stupid and drink and drive. Yes, your significant other can sleep over or come over for the weekend. Just let me know what's going on. Pay a small rent during the summer when you're working full-time, and pay your part of the car insurance. You have your chores, I have mine. We all work together. I tell them if they're being jerks, and they listen. In turn, I listen to them. There's very little fighting or arguing in my house. This is their time to spread their wings and learn how to be responsible adults, with me as a safety net. Lately, one of my kids' significant others has been spending a lot of time over at my house. He's here pretty much all the time. 2 days ago, I got a phone call from a number I didn't recognize, and I answered. It was my daughter's boyfriend's mother. I'll be me, and M stands for Entitled Mom. I answered, "Hello?" The Entitled Mom snapped. "You need to tell my kid he isn't allowed over at your house anymore." I asked, "Who is this?" She shouted, "This is Tommy's mother." I already knew where this was going. "Oh, Tommy's mom. I have to say, you've raised a great kid. He's always polite and respectful. In fact," she cut me off yelling, "Look, I don't care what you think about my kid. He is never at home. He isn't spending any time with me." Okay, there isn't much I can do about that. She snapped again. "Yes, there is. Tell him he can't come over to your house anymore. I want him home. And you set a bad example for my son. Your daughter has no curfew, and I'm sick and tired of hearing how nice it is at your house. I miss him and want him home." Speaking very lowly, basically growling into the phone, I said, "Are you done yelling at me?" She went silent. I think I stunned her into silence. I said calmly, "I'll take that as a yes. Do you trust the way you raised your son?" She sounded confused. "What? It's a simple question. Do you trust the way you raised your son?" She snapped. "Of course I do. What does that have to do with anything?" I repeated. "Do you trust him to make good decisions?" She said. Yes, of course," starting to calm down. "Mother to mother," I said gently, "I know things aren't okay at your house right now. Her husband drinks a lot. I'm trying to give your child a safe place when things are not okay at your house." She started to cut me off at this point, but I didn't let her. "It's not your fault." She went quiet. I asked softly, "He throws your son out for days at a time sometimes, doesn't he?" "Yes," she whispered. I could hear her choking back tears. "Do you need someone to talk to? Would you want to go out to lunch? That way you can feel safer knowing whose house your son is at and that he's safe." Her voice softened. "That would be okay." We were on the phone for about an hour after that. What started out as an entitled mom call turned out to be a scared woman feeling very, very alone. Sorry there wasn't any righteous retribution, but I think it turned out okay. I'm going to try to get 19-year-old Tommy's curfew changed from 10 p.m. to midnight. And maybe he can stay over for a weekend.
I actually love this story. It started like your usual Karen meltdown and ended up being really human. OP handled it perfectly. No shouting, no ego, just empathy that completely changed the tone. Sometimes an entitled mom is really just a lonely one trying to hold on too tight. And OP met that moment with kindness instead of judgment. That's rare, and it's beautiful. So after hearing all 3 stories, which one hit you the most? And have you ever dealt with a parent like that? Share your story in the comments. I'd love to read it. That's a wrap on today's r/entitled parents drama, because apparently raising kids comes with a side of delusion. If that had you cringing or cackling, give this video a big ol' thumbs up. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I know you've got something to say about these wild families. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's your chance. Smash that button, ring the bell, and I'll see you in the next one where the entitlement only gets louder. Bye!